The summer holidays are coming to an end, but every ending also signals a beginning and brings new opportunities. Parents, as children start a new chapter in September, pledge to be more involved in their school life. Commit to helping with homework, attending parents-teachers meetings, and talking to teachers regularly to find out how your child is progressing. These little things will allow students to get the most out of the school year. I'm Theodore Henry. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. We've put together another educational package just for you. Learn about the new National Identification System, and later, a visit to Santa Cruz as the Jamaica Customs Agency meets the community. All that after the news of the day. Stay tuned.
Si Marcia Osbande, ima one of the biggest joggies.
Wait, somebody a scream.
Lad, them a bundle price to work and never pay the extortion money.
Who them man there? How would them a do Jackie liquidator?
It's serious times. Speak up for justice and keep your eyes open. When you hear about any crime, report it. Silence brings violence.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, August 16. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, says investigations have begun on the possible causes of a fire which broke out at the Petrojam oil refinery sometime after 4 this morning. The minister visited the refinery to get a first-hand view of the situation. The fire has since been contained by the fire brigade and Petrojam. Meanwhile, the energy minister is assuring the nation that there is no gas shortage. His comments come amid rumors of an impending gas shortage due to the fire at Petrojam. The minister says the sector is functioning as normal and there is no need for panic. The backlog caused by a disruption in service at the Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited (KFTL) is expected to be cleared by this week. Between August 8 and 10, the Port Trailer Haulage Association carried out industrial action citing long delays when retrieving containers from the wharf. However, through government intervention, normal operations resumed on Thursday. To accommodate the clearing of the backlog caused by the withdrawal of service, domestic operations were extended from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday and from 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Sunday. At a press conference Tuesday, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Dr. Horace Chang, blamed the disruption on a breakdown in communication. He urged the parties involved to work together as the country transitions into a major logistics center. Dr. Chang argued that to overcome the expected teething problems during the transition period, additional training, organizational management, and communication would be required.
The port functions smoothly when shippers are coming in with ships on time. They are being unloaded efficiently in a timely manner, and they're getting on the trucks in an efficient and timely manner, and from the trucks to the consignees in the system. And all the parties involved, customs, port handlers, truckers, port authority, shipping associates, must work in conjunction to ensure that there is a smooth flow.
During the press briefing, Dr. Chang updated the gathering on the measures implemented to ensure efficiency at the port. The Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited has agreed to make 6 straddle carriers available at the domestic section of the wharf during normal work hours and 8 during peak hours. The KFTL will also ensure there is proper planning and control of the appointment system for containers, as well as convene more frequent meetings with the port trailer haulers. Dr. Chang also assured that once the Navis Terminal Operating System and the Asikuda World were fully implemented, the turnaround time for operations on the port will be 25 minutes or below. Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says he will be making further decisions once in receipt of a final report into the circumstances which led to construction work being done on a pediatric ward while occupied. Dr. Tufton had ordered an immediate probe into the incident, which happened at the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital in Westmoreland. The health minister says a preliminary report revealed that there was a breakdown in protocol.
It is just not appropriate to have patients around, in this case kids, who are in recovery mode with workmen doing work in the facility. And I think when we make errors, we must admit that those errors have been made, and we must do what is necessary to take corrective action We did that in the early stages by stopping the work and taking the action that was required. However, we have to ensure also that it doesn't reoccur in the future. So the report that I have requested will outline systems and procedures that are to be put in place to avoid this from recurring.
Dr. Tufton was speaking with JIS News following Friday's tour of the hospital where he said operations had been normalized. Jamaicans exiting the Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, are being reassured that they will not be immediately cut from the program. Cabinet recently approved the PATH graduation strategy, whereby benefits to some beneficiaries will discontinue and those persons given employment opportunities, allowing other needy persons to access the program. At a recent sensitization session in St. Anne, Portfolio Minister Shahini Robinson said the strategy would allow for a reapplication exercise which would verify who are the most needy in society. The reapplication exercise will be done every 4 years and each beneficiary's situation will be assessed so as to allow those exiting the program access to the funds over a 6-month transition period.
I'm sure that you will agree that every time that you walk, you see somebody else who wants to get their children on the PATH program, or they have an elderly adult or a disabled person that they want to get on the program. And if it were that we just kept these 365 recipients on it, then we wouldn't be creating any room for more persons to come on board.
And finally, the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is warning business operators to comply with the island's planning and environmental laws to avoid facing legal action. The agency says it is taking a zero-tolerance approach towards breaches and has stepped up its compliance efforts by taking legal action against businesses which are operating without the required environmental permits and beach licenses. NEPA's warning follows the conviction of Dancorp Limited, operators of the Waterland attraction in St. Mary, for breaching the Natural Resources Conservation Authority Act. Dancorp Limited was fined $20,000 after pleading guilty Thursday to operating an ecotourism facility without an environmental permit. The conclusion of the court hearing came almost 2 years after the charges were brought against Dancorp by NEPA for breaches under Section 9 of the NRCA. Persons who are found guilty of Section 9 of the NRCA Act may be fined up to $50,000, sentenced up to 2 years in prison, or suffer both penalties. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
The National Identification System, NIDS, will be rolled out in 2019. It's a safer, more secure and convenient way of verifying and identifying Jamaican citizens. Here's how it will work.
The government is moving towards implementing a national identification system, NIDS, that will become the primary source for identity assurance and verification of all Jamaican citizens. The NIDS will establish a reliable and accurate database and provide each individual with a legal identity. Citizens by birth or persons ordinarily resident in Jamaica will be issued a National Identification Number, NIN, and a National Identification Card.
A NIN is from cradle to death. Upon death, it is retired in the system, but it is never used again for anyone else.
To receive this card and facilitate the data collection process, persons will be asked to provide key information. Information required includes your name, date of birth, address, email, and phone number. In addition, your photograph and fingerprint will be taken. The biographic and biometric information are mandatory for the identity verification database. However, it's voluntary for individuals to provide information on their place of employment, profession, family status, education, and religion. So what will not be collected?
DNA will not be collected. Let me just mention quickly that financial information will not be collected either. Political affiliation and sexual orientation is omitted, and it states so in the bill.
The following documents will be required where applicable once enrollment begins in September 2018.
If somebody refuses to sign up for the NIDS, there won't be a penalty in the sense that there is no punitive measures outlined in the bill that is before Parliament.
The National Identification Card will display your name, nationality, place and date of birth, and address. The card will also bear a unique 9-digit number. The numbers will be randomly selected and bear no relation to your date of birth or sex. The 9 digits are in keeping with the same number of digits in the tax registration number TRN, and also to fit into systems that are already configured to accommodate 9 digits.
We wanted to facilitate a situation where there would not be this enormous retrofitting.
The initial ID is free, and if you do lose your ID, there will be a cost to replace it initially.
The National Identification System will give the government an authoritative position to be able to identify its citizens. It will also provide accurate data for national planning, eliminate multiple government-issued IDs, and create a shared data system within ministries, departments, and agencies of government. NIDS will seek to eliminate multiple identities and identity theft, strengthen immigration and border control, and ensure public and national safety. It will also improve the country's international standing and credibility.
Once we put this in and all of us have our national identification numbers and cards, there is no question who we are. So when you're doing business with an overseas entity or locally, it is giving us as the people of Jamaica and the country far more credibility in the international sphere.
The benefits to citizens are many. In addition to the one ID, one identity, it will enable better delivery of service by the state and the private sector.
If you look at countries who are progressing and are trying to move into the digital age and give better service to their citizens, you have to, as a criteria, have a way of identifying your citizens. For example, how many people need welfare in this particular parish? How many kids need PATH? Is there duplication among people accessing government benefits? Is there a better way of assessing the people in a particular area in terms of are they accessing enough benefits? So that is the idea. So it's a holistic development of doing business, making it easier to do business, giving you a confirmed identity.
And what of the private sector? A key component is that it will support the Know Your Customer requirements for banks and other businesses.
This is going to enhance that tremendously and allow them to have better, be able to negotiate with their correspondent bankers much better.
As for the benefits to the government of Jamaica, this range from efficiency and cost savings to simplified documentation, streamlining of business processes, and facilitating the public sector modernization process.
The project is a national identification system project, but it's going to have a huge positive impact in the re-engineering of a lot of processes within the government of Jamaica, and as a result, make us far more efficient.
But what are the security measures that will be put in place to protect the national identification system? One is that the information captured will be secured and stored on a national civil and identification database. The experts will take it from here.
We are putting in place fit-for-purpose data, security, and usage policies. We are also putting in place fit-for-purpose, based on international standards, physical security to protect our data center. Our data, let me say our data will be stored in the government of Jamaica data center.
So we are spending a lot of money, there's a lot of infrastructure being put in place, and we are ensuring that all access to data is managed, is audited, and is controlled.
The National Identification and Registration Authority Bill NERA, which is now before the House of Representatives, has also included provision for penalties if breaches or abuse of data do occur.
The bill is very clear, and the bill has a section that focuses on the punitive measures that the government will take, up to $4 million and 4 years in prison if you abuse the data, especially for persons working within the database management organization.
Some things you should note are that
access to your data must be initiated by you.
The agencies cannot go on the system and download. You can't browse my information. If I am, my data is on the system, nobody can go and browse on and see what is there. The police cannot access the data without a court order, and that is in the bill. And external agencies and foreign governments cannot just go and access the information.
the Registrar General's Department will be transformed into the new authorized body to administer the National Identification System. The name will be changed to the National Identification and Registration Authority, NERA, and will fall under the Office of the Prime Minister.
The functions of the RGD, that is the civil registry, will continue within NERA, and then NERA also has the responsibility for identity management.
A national rollout of the National Identification System is expected for April 2019.
And we are confident that when the project is implemented, all of our lives will be better and more secure and safer.
As people come onto the system, as the system becomes more trustworthy, as Jamaicans develop more confidence in the system, the policymakers will eventually move to a point where it becomes one ID.
We feel honestly that it's going to be a game changer in a positive way for Jamaica.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
You know the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt? For many children and even some adults, this saying is not quite true. Words do hurt, and sometimes wounds take even longer to heal. Parents, your words have a great impact on how children feel about themselves. Saying simple things such as, I love you, well done, or I am proud of you, can go a far way in building a child's self-esteem. Children with high self-esteem are eager to try new things. They're not afraid of failure, and they are usually quicker to own up to their mistakes. When you say positive things to children, they feel supported. And if they have a problem, they are more likely to come to you to talk about it and find solutions. Now, wouldn't you want that for your child? Investing in our future means investing in our children. Well-adjusted children become well-adjusted adults who will raise well-adjusted children. Start the cycle of positivity with your child. Speak kind words to them. Make them feel supported. That way you will plant a seed that will grow and bear fruit that will help to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
The
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is committed to ensuring that every Jamaican child has the best learning environment to thrive and needs your cooperation to make the education system work successfully. That is why we are ensuring that all Jamaicans have full access to secondary education. Tuition is free of cost to you, but the government can't pay for everything, so do continue with your voluntary contributions. These contributions cover the expenses of co-curricular and sports activities and school development projects. We have also increased our support for PATH students. That's right, PATH students are not expected to make contributions, and they will be provided with 5 days of free lunches. We know that a hungry child cannot learn. The ministry has implemented a literature book rental program, free insurance and IDs for PATH students in high schools. This government cares for you. We believe that every child can learn. Every child must learn.
Parents, make sure the children get immunized. Hear this! Immunization, it is a must. This is not a joke thing, this you can trust. It is required by law for entry to nursery, to daycare and to schools. Listen up, it is necessary to prevent diseases such as the measles, the poliomyelitis, the lockjaw and the whooping cough. Immunize your kids, keep them healthy, keep them strong. Prevent deadly diseases such as mumps, rubella and diphtheria. Immunize your child today. Immunization, a key to good health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is going to various communities, answering questions and informing members about how the agency is working to improve the customs experience. Tomorrow they will be in St. Catherine at the Social Development Car Park in Spanish Town. Here's what happened when they made their first stop in St. Elizabeth.
The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, recently hosted the first of several visits across the country. The team was in the parish known for its rich history and food production, St. Elizabeth, at the St. Matthew's Anglican Church Hall in Santa Cruz. Representatives from the JCA Kingston and Montego Bay offices came prepared to inform residents about the developments within the agency and how it has been positioned to serve them better. These engagements are in keeping with the Jamaica Customs Agency strategy to expand their reach through public education. The main topic for discussion was import categories and the documentary and procedural requirements for all import classes. So, it's tradition for Jamaicans who visit foreign countries to pack a barrel with personal items and gifts for family and friends. These are classified as personal imports.
Items not manufactured for commercial use, imported for our personal use. What are we talking about? As you see there, food, clothing, household appliances, furniture, sofa, or a TV. What are commercial goods? Commercial goods are goods that are sold or traded, or it could be considered to be goods that are imported, of course, and for resale to the general public. Commercial goods can also be classified as goods to be used in business activities.
Charitable goods are meant to be charitable goods, goods that are donated to an institution and not goods that are benefiting to any individual or organization for any income. Charitable purpose includes prevention or relief of poverty, the advancement of education, the advancement of religion.
Charitable imports are afforded 100% waivers on import duties, GCT, special consumption tax, stamp duties, and only 50% of customs administrative fee is applied. Full import duties, environmental levies, and GCT is applied to motor vehicles, however.
Can you put a bag on the dresser for me, please, to do an examination? And what is this I'm seeing here? This is a turkey? But Mrs. Griffith, do you have a permit for the medication and for the turkey that you're taking, ma'am?
Agricultural produce, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, firearms, fireworks, human remains, and drones are on the list of restricted items and will require a permit from the respective organizations. These include the Ministries of Agriculture, Health and National Security, Pharmaceutical Regulatory Affairs Division, and the Kingston and St. Andrew Health Department. The JCA makes special arrangements for returning residents and students, deportees, and even the deceased. In order to make use of these arrangements, one must have the necessary documentary evidence to support claims of residency outside of Jamaica for 3 or more consecutive years. Qualified applicants can only benefit once from these concessions. Recipients of import should collect shipping documents from an agent and present these along with a valid ID and a tax registration number TRN card to a customs supervisor.
For those of us who are travelers, when we come to the airport, right? One of the things that we think about first of all, and we always want to ensure that we have, is what? The PD form, the yellow form, the C27 form.
The form is the document on which allowances are appropriated. This too should be presented to a customs supervisor. Travelers 18 years and older are entitled to this duty-free allowance form. The Jamaica Customs Agency has a wide cross-section of clients, and as such, they have implemented the Asikuda system, which allows for a faster, easier, simpler, and more business-friendly environment. The system makes it possible to process transactions electronically. These transactions include application for licenses and permits, automated approval, online payment, and automated risk assessment. The agency also facilitates a door-to-door delivery system, which is a simplified process for small shipments.
You can stay right here and have your shipment cleared without you traveling to Kingston or traveling to Montego Bay or traveling to St. Anne.
The meeting was very interactive and allowed for a question and answer section.
I have a truck on the wharf. I ship it here. And for instance, no one contacts me. I get no information. Nobody told me how I should go about it. The shipper put a broker on me. I want to know, do I have to use who the person gave me?
There is always the accommodation by the JCA if you so wish to have your custom broker changed. Pretty sure that customs will make some accommodations for him.
I'm Orlando and I'm asking a question on behalf of the youths, right? I listened to everybody and I want to know, how do you get the youths involved in the Jamaica Customs Agency?
What Customs is doing now, working in tandem with the Caribbean Maritime University, Customs draws from that pool of persons who are being trained. In fact, a part of them getting their degrees is that they must do community service, and so Customs fosters these students.
In addition to that, a customs program is offered at the Caribbean Maritime University as well as the Sam Sharp Teachers College in Montego Bay. The Jamaica Customs Agency intends to partner with you to make your customs-related activities stress-free. As they continue their public education initiative, join them when they come to your neck of the woods. Take the opportunity to go out and be informed.
This is where we close the pages of another Jamaica magazine. Let us know your thoughts about the show, send us an email or drop us a message on Facebook or Twitter. You can watch this or any other edition of this magazine by visiting our YouTube channel or our website. I'm Theodore Henry. On behalf of the entire production team, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.